let's talk about Deluxe City, Deluxe. Last March 15, you released on all digital platforms the definitive version of your fourth studio album with three new songs and reversions of Overcome and Tomorrow is Close. Personally, my favorite song of the album. Now, overall, I found this album extremely innovative and brave for its unique concept and narrative, as well as the social issues addressed in the lyrics of the songs, such as, I don't know, culture, politics, digital evolutions, and the music industry. Having said that, for my part, where did the idea of releasing this deluxe edition of the material come from, and what was the process of releasing it like?
Yeah. So, I mean, we sat on, 15, 18, 20 songs for a while. We had a new way of recording this record. We did 5 months in a studio in a home in Essex, so that's pretty close to where we grew up, and we had this big stately home that we turned into a studio, and it was amazing. We were there for 5 months, had a swimming pool and a tennis court and chickens, and we got to take the process slowly, which wasn't something that we were used to. So I think by doing that, we had all this extra time and we had this love for these extra songs, and when we were writing Tomorrow's Closed, we knew that it was working just on a piano. So it was pretty obvious for us that we were going to do a version of that, whether that was live or whether that was for a recorded thing, and then we ended up recording it. I think we did like a few passes on the like a couple passes on the vocals and a couple passes on the piano, and we just tried to keep it pretty live, which was fun. It was important. We knew that was a great song in its kind of like in its bones. Yeah, and the rest of the songs I love. I mean, this is the first time I'm pretty honest. I think that this is the first deluxe album that I've been excited by. I think we held back I Know He Said What because it was so strong. We wanted to give it its own kind of space, its own platform. And that was hard to do because I really liked the idea of it being on the album, but I think it was a great decision to hold it back so it has... Otherwise it might have got lost in the mix with other singles. And now it stands out. And then the other 2 songs, the truth is, like the total honest on Hand and Heart Truth is, there were 2 great songs, Pure You and Time for Karma God, that they didn't really fit with the album. But we loved them so much that we knew, we thought people would like them too, that we just putting them on deluxe just felt like the right thing to do and give people more music,
Yeah, okay, now I'd like to move on the subject that brought us together today. Nothing But Thieves' upcoming show at House of Bands in Mexico and your return to Mexico City. And let me tell you something. Without a doubt, I'm sure it will be a very special and mind-blowing concert. Not only because it will be in a very intimate, and close venue, but also because it will be your long-awaited reunion with your friends in Mexico City after almost 6 years. As a band, what are you expecting from this show? Are you ready for it? I mean, I understand that you will be performing the show you have been playing on your national tour, right?
Yeah. So it's well rehearsed. No, I think Mexico City is just one. I'm so excited about it. Anytime we get the opportunity, because it's hard to like piece all the pieces together. I think sometimes people forget, or fans forget. We'll get a message every day from when we finish a gig until the next time we do a gig, asking us to come back, and it's so if we could play there every single week, we would, because it's crazy, and I think the fans are some of the most dedicated and most heartfelt, passionate people in the world. It's just really hard to logistically do that sometimes when you're in a band, especially nowadays with like all the costs and everything. But we're so excited to be back, and I know it's going to be insane. I know it's going to be an amazing show. So
it will be.
And we're constantly working with our team to be like, okay, when's the quicker turnaround? When can we come back next? And we're always making plans for stuff. So hope that our Mexican fans really understand that, you know.
It will be insane, believe me. But I don't know why, but for as long as I can remember, the Mexican public has always had an affinity to British rock. And now with this new crop of incredible bands like Idols, Fontaine's DC, Shane, The Mother Capital, Yardak, of course, Thieves, it seems that they are becoming the soundtrack of thousands of my compatriots in these generations. What do you think the love of British bands in Mexico is due to this?
I mean, that's an incredible question. It's probably best suited for a Mexican person to answer that, though. Let's be honest, because it's like I could ask you the same thing. What is it about English music that makes Mexican people tick? You know, what is it within us? I mean, I could try and figure it out, but it's, you know, I think there's something very authentic and guttural in English music. I think English bands tend to be very direct and very honest. You to feel something and live something through the music. All those bands you just listed, I think do that incredibly well. And I think we're very different from a lot of those punk bands, but we also, I couldn't put a single song on a record that wouldn't penetrate me in some way, whether it's musically, lyrically, or vocally. And I think that's super important. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe there's a kind of a penetration from English music that's quite direct and forceful. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, no?